Happy New Year, Cancer. This is your January 2020 predictions on what's coming for the month ahead. Please remember this is a general reading and may not resonate with all of you. Take what does and don't worry about the rest. If you look down in the description box, you will see all my social media details, etc., all the relevant stuff that you need to be having a little look at if you want to contact me or you want to book any paid services or you want to follow me on any of my social media. Completely up to you. Now, if at the end of this reading you feel, do you know what? She knew what she was talking about. That made sense to me. Then please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when your next one is coming up, because I try to do each month if I can for each sign, but there is 12. So here we go. Let's have a look. Stop chatting. That was funny because Spirit was like, yeah, enough now, Kelly. Just carry on. So we're going to look for the energy of Cancer in January 2020. Just a general overview, yeah? And then we'll work on the cards, what they say otherwise. Okay. So for Cancer, we've got some control issues coming in for you guys. You've been balancing too much. You've literally been chasing after your ass. You're just going full steam ahead and you've not really settled. I think in December, maybe you was just rushing around too much, which is the usual, but I think you've overdone it. Some of you may have issues with your back. Some of you may be having issues with your legs, because I feel with some of you Cancers, you've literally run yourself ragged. And this is letting you know that now in January, you're going to need to rest. And if you don't rest, I feel that you may be forced to rest. Now, this card is showing me that you've got too much going on. You may have a decision coming up for you guys as well. There may be something that has to do with your general life, relationship, marriage, connections, things like that, your home. Some of you Cancers are going to be having to make a decision. I don't feel that you're in the right mindset to be doing that right now, because you're tired, because you're drained. Cancer, if you make that decision, I feel that you're going to make it in haste. So I want you to wait on that. Now, you guys will be having the end of a situation. I feel some of you will be leaving your relationships this January. Some of you are hiding your emotions somewhat, whether that's to someone in the past or whether that's just your emotions in general, because you are quite a deep sign. But this is showing me that you need to release it, that it's the end of a situation. The more you hold on to it, the more messy the ending is going to be. And I think that it's definitely time to move on for you guys. So that is coming in January. Now, if you guys enable yourselves to move on and you don't hold on to what you're not longer meant to be holding on to, you give a positive change, yeah? So when we let go of what we're not meant to hold on to, we're giving something better, yeah? If you hold on to something that, if you stay somewhere you're not meant to be, the universe will make it extremely difficult for you to stay there and the ending will be messy. So this is saying if you leave voluntarily, if you follow your heart and do what you're meant to be doing, then you will be paid off with a much more positive time. A change, you know, this situation will stop and you will feel a relief. I feel a big relief with this. But I do feel that it's going to come with like an aftermath, if that makes sense. So if some of you guys are going to be leaving your connections, your relationship, things like that, I do feel that the other person, or, you know, this may even be happening to you. Somebody may be leaving you this month. But I do feel this is set to get that little bit messy. And I do feel that it's a little bit, I feel uncomfortable dealing with it. It feels like I just don't want to deal with it. So this is saying that you need to defend yourself and your decisions. You need to stand your ground. And you do need to make all decisions wisely. Because if you don't, then it's going to be a case of somebody's going to go, do you know what, that's what you said, so let's test you by it. And I know with Cancers, when they're kind of... when they're confronted or things like that, sometimes they can literally try and go back into their shell. So it's a case of, if you don't want that person or that situation coming back to bite you on the arse, then you need to make sure you're dealing with it properly, okay? So let's finish this. So we've got the 9 of Cups coming in. We've got that one, and I think once you kind of make this decision, this is a love connection. This is something to do with the relationship. You could even be dealing with the Gemini, but this is showing me that you guys, you're not waking up to it, or somebody is literally in disillusion. They're kind of not really paying attention, but this is always also their like make a wish card. So if it is a case of you're looking for that connection, you know, whether that be with a Gemini or another air sign, this card does represent Gemini, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be. This is also representing someone from your past. You guys could still be in love with someone from your past. You could still be hung up on someone. You know, you may be thinking and feeling about them at different points and you don't have a clue why. It's because you've not dealt with the situation, and I think this is impacting your current relationship or connection. It's definitely affecting your mindset. So this is asking you to kind of deal with it, because if you don't, it's going to get messy. Now, I think when you have dealt with it, a lot of you are going to listen and you are going to deal with it, because this one's showing me victory. It's going to pay off. There's going to be that, oh my gosh, it's kind of, I feel the fear of what's going to happen is a lot worse than what actually is going to happen, okay? So do we have any more advice or guidance for Cancer? Ooh, oh, the cards are trying to escape. It's all about love for you, Cancer, look. You need to love who you are. You are divine, delightful and deserving of the wonderful things life has to offer. I think some of you Cancers are thinking, because whatever's going on in your head or your heart, you're thinking that you don't deserve to be with somebody. You don't deserve to be loved. You don't deserve what you've currently got. I think if you're honest and you treat this other person or this situation the best way you can, then you do deserve love. If you're one of them people that kind of snakes out and you know what I mean, them people that are just shady and they don't deal with something until they force the other person to deal with it, then this isn't going to go too well. It feels to me that it's just going to backfire. So what I'm asking you is to deal with it properly. Now, love is all around you, it's everywhere, but I feel that sometimes you're a bit closed off to it. You're a bit closed off to happiness. Sometimes you can get a bit stuck up in your feelings, and January may be the same. You may be deep in your emotions that literally you can't even see what's going past you. So you need to evaluate that. You need to see where that's sitting and what the root cause is of it. Now, if you are single and you're looking for someone, it's a case of making sure that your energy is acting like somebody is already here. When we act like we're already in love and we're happy, then we are kind of emitting a really true frequency of love, and that is really good. So when you're emitting those really nice frequencies, it enables other people to come along on that same frequency. If you're like, oh, I'm by myself, I'm so lonely, I'm so low, you know, which are natural feelings, it just emits a frequency that attracts people of the same energy, which then creates toxic relationships, attachments, things like that. So you want to make sure that you're putting out what you want to receive, yeah? So I think all in all, for you Cancer, January is looking a bit of big decisions, relationship, maybe breakdowns, walking away. You know, but I think it's just a sigh. I want to get to the other end of January, and I think I'm going to sigh and just go, do you know what? That needed to happen. Okay, I wish you a wonderful January. You've got this Cancer. You will make it through it. Take care.